Hello lovelies and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title of today's video, we're going to be reacting to the SB19 Story Episode 2, The Zone, which I'm honestly so excited for. I have been really enjoying reacting to these videos so far, so I can't wait to see what we're going to be getting from this one. I'm just loving learning more about SB19 and their journey, so I'm sure this video is going to be amazing too. But before we do get into this, if you guys are new to the channel, then welcome and thank you for joining. Make sure you click on that subscribe button down below to stay up to date with what I post on this channel. And while you're at it, why not leave a little like on this video as well? It's really just helping to see what you're enjoying watching so I can keep on making more videos like this. But with all that being said, I just can't wait to get into this. So let's go. I am honestly so intrigued to see what we're going to be getting from this video and what more we're going to find out. I like this little rhythm and beat we've got going on.
Disclaimer, this video is only based on my personal research. I might miss some details and it's possible to have discrepancies, but I did my best to get as much accurate information as possible, so enjoy. Just a quick correction to episode 1.
Very excited.
Josh didn't only recruit Ken, but also Justin. Josh told
Wow.
Justin about the workshop, which gave him the opportunity to become a show BT trainee. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the video.
Get in the zone. Right.
Just so beautiful.
Everyone has
aren't
that
they?
one thing that makes them feel good about themselves. Like they're in control. Everything else could be going
honestly
completely haywire.
Ano ba yan, Stel? Ano ba yung
I'm
ayos
just
na
blown
yan?
away by
Talagang style
SB19.
niya.
Like the world is completely falling apart around you.
Minsan na makita na ng tao kung gaano kami naghihirap.
But when you're doing that
Bless them.
one thing, life is wonderful. And that makes everything worth it.
Honestly, it's just so amazing to see their journey, you know, and how far they've come.
Addie Hong. She could have easily become a popular celebrity in the Philippines. Back in Korea, she was a well-established theater actress, a vocal, dance, and beauty coach, a one-woman show. But instead, she chose to use her experience to guide and nurture the boys to reach their highest potential. Along with
Love
Tatang
that.
Robin, she was also one of the main reasons why SB19 is where they are now. She is popularly known as Miss Hongganda, and we will see her often in this video. Before SB19's debut, they tried to establish an online presence. So on May 16, 2018, they created their Facebook page. This could possibly
Wow.
be the unofficial date they were formed. They started posting song covers like these.
Send me
Oh, what a good song.
Let's focus on communicating, 'cause I just need the time and place to come through. Yeah. I hope he buys you flowers.
Oh my gosh, they've got phenomenal taste in music. These songs are everything.
And dance covers like these.
Lean with it,
Hey,
with it. Hit them folk, now stab with it. Nay, nay, then you stop.
They became more active in social media while maintaining their regular performances in small events.
even this, it just shows how much they really did put in that grind, you know, themselves. And we were talking about this in the last episode where they were basically having to do most of the work, you know, in terms of figuring out everything and figuring out how to really enter into this world on their own, you know, with the people around them, but basically from the ground up. So it's just amazing to see that they really took that initiative and just like really focusing on what key aspects they could utilize to really get their name out there, you know. And I think social media is the best format for that. And just seeing them start out with Facebook, you know, like it brings back all the memories of just where media really began and how it would just continue to expand. And I can only imagine how much as media progressed, it also really did have an uplifting sense towards SB19's fan base as well. But I just really love and appreciate how we're just seeing more and more how much SB19 really did just shape themselves. And it's so nice to see now that they did have somebody from this point, you know, really helping them with choreography, helping them to, understand what it takes in terms of the music industry, having a bit more support. It seems like as time was going on, they were maybe getting a little bit more of that anyway, it seems, which is definitely a nice thing to hear and see, because I think in the last episode it was definitely heartbreaking, for them to be on this journey and almost left to their own devices. But it seems like as time progressed, the more that they were gaining traction, the more that there was sort of more people maybe coming in and trying to really bring more guidance for them, which I think is a necessary part for anybody who's wanting to, break into the industry, isn't it? But they're all just incredible. And hearing that they were, really working day and night tirelessly, rehearsing, performing, focusing on media, they were literally just doing it all. It was like a real full-time job for them. I will say, like I was saying, phenomenal taste in music. Those songs, I'm going to have to listen to some covers that these guys have done for sure. And the little choreo as well, the dance routines, absolutely killing the game.
In social media while maintaining the regular performances in small events. They did this until it was almost time for their debut.
We have good news for you guys. Kasi after the very, very long wait, finally, yes, finally, we will be releasing our debut single entitled Tila Luha!
That must have been such an amazing
October
feeling for them as well, mustn't it? Like to
SB19
finally get that
debuted
break.
with their ballad single called Tila Luha. But did you know that it wasn't the only song that they had at the time? They also had Love Goes, but they chose to debut with Tila Luha to capture the hearts of the Filipino people because the lyrics are in Tagalog. They then started
That's
promoting their
beautiful.
debut song in every way they could think of. November 17, 2018 marked SB19's first ever live stream to promote their debut single.
Magsimula natin ang first SB Talent Camp Facebook Live. Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Ganyan po yun. 3, 3.
Oh. I could actually cry. Oh. Stop it. That is... Like, it fills your heart with such warmth, doesn't it? Just to think of how far they've come from this. But hearing that they just had 3 people, watching. And now looking at how much of a fan base they've got across the world. Like, it just is... Oh... My heart can't take how much just incredible hard work and determination that SB19 put into everything they did, and being able to be at the point of where they're at now. Starting from literally, just the bare minimum of where anybody could think of starting a journey, and really just constantly being there and showing up for the people who were supporting them, even at the beginning when there wasn't necessarily many people within that fan base, you can see how much love and light they still had and found through, even if it was just 3 people. It still was somebody taking time out of their day to come and listen and come and watch and really just support them. I think that is so lovely to see, and it just makes me so happy to know that there's been people who have had these guys' backs from day one. It's just so lovely. And I will say, SB19, genuinely, when I tell you, I've reacted to many groups on this channel, but the fans for SB19 18 truly are some of the loveliest fans that I think I've ever come across. Like, my comment section is always filled with so much love and welcoming words and kindness and just so many lovely people. So obviously I have to say thank you to everybody who's watching this video, because I'm so grateful to have such lovely people who watch these reactions, and always are so kind and give me guidance and just there to support, me on this journey. But I think it's just so lovely to see how much love that there is for SB19 and how much that really does just absolutely reflect in the fandom, I think it's just an amazing thing, isn't it?
3, 3. Let's wait for 10 viewers.
Despite the very few viewers, they went all out to entertain them.
여러분, 저는 너무 배고파요.
It's just adorable.
Height is really good. Height is already good. Oh, wait.
Oh, that was smooth.
Sa wakas, dumating na rin ang oras na aking pinakahihintay. Matagal ka
Come on, Pablo.
magsaray. Sige lang, sige, handa pa na para bang wala pangangabang nadarama. Bigay mo na, machine gun, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Wow. They were just giving it their everything, you know? Oh, they're so sweet.
Ladies and gentlemen, among the SB19 is a chic member.
Oh! Hold up. We need to be seeing that again, please and thank you. I was not I was wondering. I was like, one member's missing off of this sofa. Where's he gone? What's going to happen? I was not expecting a complete on like gymnastic routine with him, you know, backflipping into this shot right now. But I'm here for it. They can just do everything. They really can. Wow.
Yep, they did all that in front of just a little over 10 viewers. You can still watch the whole live stream
Shows
to
the
this day
passion
on
they
their
had.
official Facebook page. They also perform in schools, malls, nursing homes, and even orphanages, but their debut
Genuinely, they are the sweetest people that I think I've ever heard of or seen in my life. Like the fact that they were going just anywhere, just to be able to do the thing they loved, you know, to be able to share that love of their music with people, to be able to spread some joy and happiness and light for people, and even people who were maybe going through their own struggles, you know, and I think I'm gonna cry at every single one of these videos because every time I hear something else about these guys, it just makes me like appreciate them and admire them so much more. Like just hearing that they were going to nursing homes, they were going to orphanages, like it just absolutely warms your heart to hear that there are such lovely and wholesome people within this industry. And I just think it's such like a beautiful thought, isn't it, for them to have done that.
perform in schools, malls, nursing homes, and even orphanages, but their debut only received a lukewarm reception. The stream count didn't move as fast as they have hoped for. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. But their grind continued.
They just never gave up. And I think that's the
After
main
the
thing.
disappointing debut, they started preparing for a comeback.
Today, nandito kami sa recording studio. Nagre-record kami ng kanta namin. Ito mismo yung parang kwento ng SB19.
Yung lyrics mismo ng song namin is about pangarap ng SB19. Kung parang nagsimula yung lahat. Ito po talaga yung kantang gugulat sa lahat.
They collaborated with a critically acclaimed Korean producer, Oh Woon Lee,
Maybe
who's
they just
behind
do
the success
everything,
of
didn't they, in their
TVXQ
power to
and
make
Stray
this
Kids.
work. Oh,
Pablo,
Stray
with the help
Kids.
of the boys, wrote the song
Love.
as they began to enter the go-up era. They started practicing their go-up dance routine, which was intricately choreographed by Stell and Ken. They were required to
Amazing.
practice 30 times daily until they reached 1,000 reps. And boy,
Wow.
they did it. They were even challenged to perform the dance routine at double speed.
They're just so in sync, aren't they? You can see how much time and dedication they put into it. And you know what, as well, I will say, hearing that they had to practice this like 30 times a day in, day out, you know, until they reached that 1,000 rep, and also doing it in like 2 times speed and all of this, it's like they'd still do that with a smile on their face. You know, most people would be tired, you know, showing that sign of exhaustion, a little bit, maybe feeling a little bit low, you know, but even through working so tirelessly and so hard and constantly just giving everything they've got, they still did it with a smile on their face. You know, they kept on getting knocked back after knockback, but every time they just came back smiling, just wanting to prove that they could do this, you know, and just believing that they would achieve this. And I think that's what's really hitting me even more, is especially after hearing like that live stream had maybe 10 viewers or more by the end of it, you know? And they still were just constantly giving everything they had, even if it was just to 3, 5, 10 people. They just wanted to make those people's days. You know, they wanted to really bring light to, even if it was just a few people, because that's what they enjoy doing. That's their passion. That's their love. That's their life. You know, this music is everything to them, and you can see that. It's just so inspiring, isn't it?
Yep, that was not even in fast forward. Now that they have reached the quota, it was time for them to shoot the music video.
I'm excited to get around to this song.
July 19, 2019. SB19 dropped their Go Up music video. Expectations were higher because this was the song that showcased their singing, dancing, and songwriting skills. But for some reason, it has also met a lukewarm reception. They then started promoting the song using the methods they know. They even reacted to their own music video.
I love that. Oh, they're just sweethearts.
But none of their efforts made a significant impact. After that, you would think that it was the biggest setback. But not until August 17, 2019. This was when the Go Up press conference happened. This was supposed to be an effort for them to establish a presence in the media world. They were interviewed by professional journalists, but instead of receiving a warm welcome, most of what they got was straight up disrespect.
Pero kanina pa ako
I need to prepare myself for this because I don't think I'm going to be able to keep a cool mind. I'm going to need a second because, listen, I know I've only just started listening to SB19, but even so, whenever I hear anybody having to listen to people talk negatively, it really just frustrates me and hurts me because, again, like I said in my episode 1 reaction, you know, I think that the least that somebody can do is have respect for a person on a human level. You know, we all have emotions, we all have feelings. And I think just knowing that there's people who purposefully go out of their way to try and provoke somebody or to try and make somebody upset or hurt somebody, I just don't understand what you get from that or why you do that, you know, because these guys are lovely. Like, they're the sweetest people. They are going around performing any and everywhere they can, living the thought and loving their music and doing whatever they can to really, you know, bring that joy to people. I just don't understand why you would then think to try and tear them down, you know? It's unthinkable, isn't it?
So what they got was straight up disrespect.
pero kanina pa ako bothered. Ano ba yan, Stel? Ano ba yung ayos mo yan? Talagang style yan o ano? Hindi lang ginawang Stel
Yung style ko po ba or yung name ko? Kasi po, clear ko po, yung name ko po, Stel. Kasi po galit po siya. Yung full name ko po is Stel Bester po. Opo, Stel Bester po.
Barako.
Opo, kasi po yung mama ko po, idol niya po si Sylvester Stallone. Kaya doon niya po pinasa yung name ko po.
Oo.
Tapos po, yung style ko naman po ngayon, actually po, hindi ko po alam eh.
Right, number 1. Don't disrespect somebody's name. It's their name. Period. End of story. It's their name. Why are we... I don't even... What's wrong with the name Stel? It's a beautiful name. I think it's a great name. And not only that, Stelvester, it literally is his name. Like, it's half of his name. I don't know what they were trying to get at with that, but listen, I think he's got a beautiful name. I do. I think it's incredible. Number 2, the style. What's wrong with the fits? What is wrong with... They look absolutely incredible, as always. They're all in, like, unison as well. They're all sort of matching. I think they look incredible. Also, why are we just focusing on Stel when you're talking about style? They're all wearing relatively similar outfits. So why are we soloing one person out? I don't understand that either because, listen, as far as I'm concerned, the fits are incredible. They all look stunning. There's nothing wrong with what he's wearing. He looks absolutely wonderful. Why are we trying to bring somebody down by the way they look as well? Like, honest to goodness, who is this interviewer? Absolutely ridiculous.
Oo.
Tapos po, yung style ko naman po ngayon, actually po, hindi ko po alam eh. Kumbaga, kung ano lang po yung...
It's just so disrespectful of him.
Ko, sige, ganito na alamin mo ko. Parang ganito po, yun na lang po yung inaisip ko. Pero wala po.
So lahat kayo straight.
Opo. Pero,
May gulot po.
may ako lang. Sakali magpupulo talaga ako, wala naman pong masama doon.
Hindi ba siguro nilawin ko lang po yung Estel. Kasi po, madalas po siya since matagal na po kami magkaibigan, close din po kasi siya madalas sa mga babae. So siguro po, baka po akalain nyo medyo weird po yung kasi
make up siya ngayon, no? Parang bakla talaga.
Are you actually? No, because I could get really upset for him. Like, that's. Why do they think that's okay? Like, honestly, number one, that's a personal matter anyway. Like, that is something. Asking somebody about their sexuality is something that is so personal. So for you to just bring that up when all they're trying to do is release music, number one, that breaks my heart because, like, it's none of your business. As far as anybody else is concerned, it's none of your business. That's a private matter. And I always say this, people like to blur the lines when it comes to the music industry. Just because somebody is, putting themselves out there and is trying to maybe achieve their goals and is classified as, sort of like an up-and-coming celebrity, it doesn't necessarily give you the right to know every single thing that there is to know about that person. Like, they have their own private life as well. And like SB19 already gives so much of themselves to their fans and to people who listen to them, why do you then feel like it's your obligation to really just try and find out every single private thing that there is to know about him? Like, this is about music. Ask about the song. Ask about, the work they put into this music. Ask about what inspires them. Ask them about their passion. Why are you asking them about their sexuality? It's just, honestly, I feel like I need to calm myself down because I could start getting really aggravated by this because it's just something that I have seen so often when it comes to people feeling like they have the obligation to know every nook and cranny there is to know about a person, And it's like, you don't get the right to ask that question, even if you had good intentions in that. It's a very, personal matter, especially for these guys at this age as well. Like, it's not your business. I don't know how many times I have to reiterate that fact. Also, does it matter? Like, this is the thing I always say as well. When it comes to a person, they are who they are. It doesn't matter who they like. It doesn't matter who they love. It doesn't matter who they're seeing or what relationship status they've got. Whether they've got a partner, whether they've not. They're still the same person. They're still the same talented, amazing, wonderful person that you see. It doesn't change anything about their talent, about their artistry, about who they are. They are just who they are, and you should respect and appreciate somebody for that. I honestly don't understand. How is this man, like, a journalist and an interview? How? It's just downright rude and disrespectful.
Weird po yung
Kasi make up siya ngayon, no? Parang bakla talaga.
Ay. Bali po, semester sa umaga, still sa gabi. Hindi, joke lang. Weird na po, ganun lang po siguro, medyo meron lang po siya ibang
He just is who he is.
Pero hindi po, wala pong ganun sa
Is na clear na kanina about sa body issue.
I'm sorry. It's a good thing that we cleared that issue up. Again, I just want to reiterate the fact, obviously, I don't feel the need to know these guys' sexualities. I don't feel the need to know anything about their personal lives because, whatever they want to share, they will share. And if they feel comfortable in that, absolutely. But I think for them just to say, I'm glad that's cleared up, as if they had have had a different sexuality than what they were expecting, it would have been an issue. Listen, I know this was probably going on 10 years ago, this interview was done. But even so, it's so out of touch. It's so completely out of touch. And I obviously know as well, listen, in the Philippines, I can imagine it is more of a touchy subject, especially if we're looking 10 years previously. But even so, again, it just comes back around to that sense of respect and why we feel the need to bring up unnecessary issues in a topic of conversation that should be about music. They're here to promote this single, they're here to promote this music video. They're not here to talk about their personal private lives. That is their own issue. And now we're talking about hugging and holding hands. Is that not okay either now? We can't hug or hold hands because if we do, then, that could question our sexuality. What on earth ideology is that? I completely understand that everybody has their own opinion and everybody has their own viewpoint. And of course, I completely respect that there is probably more so aspects to do with the culture of that within the Philippines. But even so, again, it's just the respect. It's bare minimum as a human being. It's just, it's aggravating. I'm so glad that Josh stuck up for Stella.
Kasi sabi nyo kanina may mga pa-hold moments at sa tayakap.
Hindi kayo napapakala sa tulog nyo na hindi kayo kaibigan, hindi ko iyan. Hindi po kami.
I know I'm pausing a lot, guys, but I have to try and understand what they're actually trying to get at, because they're saying it doesn't bother you that you sound like a Korean Filipino or a Filipino trying to be Korean. I honestly don't even know how to decipher that, because at the be and end all of it, they are a group from the Philippines. Their genre is P-pop music. Just because you think maybe they've been inspired or taken a little bit of, guidance from another genre of music, that doesn't mean that summarizes everything they represent. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you take a look at music throughout the years, music is an artistic license that has been, completely innovated by inspirations from other genres of music, from other styles of music, from other times of music, And I just think, what has that got to do? Again, what's that got to do with this song? Like, I'm sure I haven't heard this song still yet at the moment, but I'm sure this song is absolutely incredible. And it's just like, why can't we appreciate how good this song is rather than just compare these guys to somebody else? Like, they're their own group, they're their own style, they're their own genre, their own music. Like, just appreciate and respect that. I don't understand.
Tulog nyo na hindi kayo kaibigan, hindi ko iyan. Hindi po kami nababagay kasi po sa kawan, sa father.
I just don't understand this person's logic. I'm sorry. I just don't understand it. They're being like, oh, I don't necessarily like what you do or the way you're doing it, but you're good. Make that make sense for me, please. Somebody explain that to me, because I don't understand. They're like, oh, we don't like the way you sound because you're trying to sound like somebody else. We don't like the way you're doing things because you're trying to do it like somebody else, but you're really good. Sorry. That makes zero sense. You're saying that you enjoy what these guys do, but you don't like the way they're doing it. I honestly don't think I'm going to be able to get through this interview without continuing to just spiral, because honestly, the sheer and utter gall of this person to just be criticizing and critiquing everything and not even giving them a moment to shine. It's almost like they are constantly just throwing things at them to try and diminish that light. You can see as well, I feel like, as this interview is progressing, the more you just see that light sort of fading behind all of them, because they just don't know what to do or say, because none of them are hyping them up. None of them are, really bringing any sort of empowerment or encouragement. It is just like they're constantly being hit with negativity after negativity. I just don't understand why there's nobody actually being positive about them.
Despite
What are you
all the
bothered
judgment,
about?
they handled the interview professionally.
They
As
did,
the
I will
event
say.
concluded, the boys
I wouldn't have
broke
been able to
down
keep
to
a cool head
tears
with that.
backstage and comforted each other. Perhaps they're just human beings, and the thick skin they developed all throughout those years can only take so much punishment, especially when it went straight to their hearts.
This is the thing as well. Like, that breaks my heart to even think about them after that interview having to just be that support for each other, because they've already been through hell and back at this point to get to this part of the journey. To be able to even debut, it took them so much. There was that whole rift of not even knowing if they were going to be together, if they were going to have this dream become a reality. And yet again, that is another side to this topic, is these people who do interview these groups, especially newer groups who are debuting, they have no idea of what these guys have been through. They're not educated on what these guys have had to deal with throughout their lives and their own personal lives, because they don't choose to show that, because they are just trying to live out this dream, live out this life that they've been wanting to live for their whole lives. But it just is like, why do you feel the need to try and drag somebody down when you have no clue of what they've given and all of the effort and love they've put into making this become a reality? It is just like you're almost mimicking and mocking this person's dream. And it just breaks my heart.
They all broke down. This made them question themselves if they were still doing the right thing. And witnessed their lives change in just one fateful day when their Go Up dance practice got uploaded on YouTube on September 2, 2019. It quickly went viral, which opened a lot of doors for SB19 to have TV guestings and live performances.
May group hug? Okay. Sige. Oo, dyan lang kayo.
Ang galing namin!
Introduce yourself.
Get in the zone, break! Hi, we are SB19!
My name is Mike Spice Kita. I am the wittiest
Hey.
As the world started to notice
love
them,
the energy
their
and the
YouTube
aura.
channel grew exponentially. Their dance practice video reached 1 million views in just a week, then 2 million a
Incredible.
month later.
And do you know what? Nobody deserved to rise and shine as much as these guys did, because to hear everything that I've heard so far, and obviously I know I've still got more to learn about them, but to hear everything they've experienced and for them to still come out of it being so positive and being so upbeat and really just still believing in themselves and their music, I think it's such like an unbelievably beautiful thing. And I think in just knowing that for every bad experience they have experienced in their life, to know they've had moments like this where they've really been able to see all of that hurt and pain that they've been through actually really lead them to this point, you know? As heartbreaking as it is to hear all of the things they've experienced, I think that it's those things that really did just give them that determination and drive even more to prove everybody wrong and to show people who they were and what they were made of. And they've done that in an abundance.
Wait a minute. Who's Arum? November 2, 2019.
So for the final announcement of the fandom name, 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! 18!
Love that.
18! What's it mean? 18, what's it mean?
Una-una sa lahat, pag pinakinggan mo siya, 18 siya, di ba? 18. So kasi kami, SB19, 18, 19.
Love that.
So if there's no 18, then also there's no SB19.
Yes.
That's
Kasi
beautiful.
kumbaga, syempre, 18 muna bago natin, 17, 18, 19. Pag walang 18, hindi makakarating sa 19.
Another means.
Another meaning. So if you're going to read this 18, it could also be read as ati.
Ati!
So, all the success, all the...
That's so
lahat
sweet.
ng natatamo natin ngayon, atin to, ours. Every
They're really getting me today. I mean, they're always making me emotional. I don't know what it is about SB19, but there's just something about them. I think just hearing how inspiring their story is, it does just move you in a way that you can't even describe. But I think hearing them just say, like, everything that we achieve, everything that we have now is ours. You know, finally, after all this time, after all these years of just putting in all of this work and dedication and love, like, finally we're getting to feel like something is ours, you know? Just makes you so incredibly happy, doesn't it, to be able to finally see that part of their journey where they were starting to really make that movement and people were starting to discover how amazingly talented and wonderful these guys were.
hindi lang sa amin, kundi sa inyo rin.
They're just so
Atin.
sweet. Oh, hold up, what's going on? Sorry guys, I don't know what that was on the screen. Don't know what just happened. Let's try that again.
Kumbaga, represent. Kumbaga, yung dreams natin, pangarap, problems, everything, we will share together. Atin yan, lalaban tayo, kaya natin yan natin. Lastly, gusto talaga namin special mention yung Orum sa lahat-lahat. Kasi sa totoo lang, talagang sila yung unang sumuporta sa amin nung hindi pa nila, wala pang nakakilala sa amin sa grupo
so
namin. Kaya
lovely.
thankful kami. Kaya nakahiwalay yan, A, ibig sabihin yan, Orum.
Oh.
Orum and SB19. Orum and SB19. Sana po masaya po kayo sa lahat sa fandom name na
It's a beautiful fandom name.
And katulad nga po, 18,
I love the meaning.
sama-sama tayong kaangat. We will go up.
Yeah!
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when 18 was born. So what does it mean to be in the zone? It turned out that actually all of them have always been in the zone. Being in the zone is what allowed them to defy all the odds. It was the zone that allowed a 5-foot man in the NBA. It was the zone that allowed a man living in the streets to rise up and become a billionaire. It was the zone that took an idea from someone's head to the moon. It was the zone that won wars, and lack of it had lost. It is the zone that separates their ideas and dreams from a materialistic reality. Manny, Efren, Catriona, SB19. What do they have in common?
I'm loving these videos, by the way. I'll say it again. The production and just everything. Absolutely amazing. I love this little rhythm again. So good. Wow. This was amazing. Honestly, these SB19 story videos are just phenomenal. I am loving this little docu-series so much. It really is just helping me understand and learn more about SB19 and how incredibly strong and powerful they are as a unit together and everything they've been through. And you can't help but just get emotional and feel so inspired by their story. So I am so excited to continue listening to more and seeing more from them because they are just absolutely wonderful. But honestly, I hope you guys enjoyed watching along this video with me. If you did, like I said, then make sure you're clicking that subscribe button down below to stay up to date with what I post on this channel. And while you're at it, why not leave a little like on this video as well? It really does help me to see what you're enjoying watching so I can keep on making more videos like this. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day and I will see you in the next video.